Hello friends, let's see one very interesting example where refraction comes into picture. The example is of the rainbow. Rainbows are formed because of combined effect of refraction, reflection and dispersion of light because of the raindrops. So the ideal condition to see the rainbow is on one part of the sky there has to be sun shining and on the other part there has to be raining. So let's assume on the western horizon there is sun present and on the eastern horizon it's raining. Under these circumstances the observer would be able to see the rainbow if his back is towards the sun. To understand this concept, let's understand what happens when white light enters the raindrop. So as you can see in this diagram in figure A, this is the sunlight entering in the raindrop. At this point, at point A, the ray undergoes refraction. Before that, the white light, because of the dispersion effect, it gets separated out into its component. Okay, here we are considering only two components, one with the red light and the other one is the violet light. So as you can see here, the light which has longer wavelength undergo lesser refraction. That means the bending is very small. Whereas the light with the shorter wavelength undergoes higher refraction. That means the bending is higher. It is observed that red light has higher wavelength compared to the violet light. So as you can see here, this ray, the upper ray is the red light because it is not refracted to a greater extent. Okay, whereas the lower ray is of the violet light. Now both these rays undergo total internal reflection at these 2 points, provided their angle of incidence is greater than the critical angle. So let's assume in this case this angle of incidence is greater than critical angle. So as we know that whenever the angle of incidence is greater than the critical angle, the ray is completely reflected internally and no part of the ray goes out of this. So let's assume this angle of incidence is greater than critical angle. So as you can see here, both these rays will get reflected back internally. Okay. At point B and C, which is the boundary between the raindrop and the air medium, they will again undergo refraction. So as you can see here, the upper ray, which is the red ray, which is traversing this path A to say this point is X, the lower point is Y. So the ray AXB is nothing but red light. So as you can see at point B also the bending is very small, whereas the ray AYC is violet light because it has shorter wavelength and hence the bending towards the normal is higher, towards or away from the normal is higher in this case. So if we look at this, the violet light comes out making an angle of 40 degrees, whereas red light comes out making an angle of 42 degrees with respect to the white light. Now the same concept is utilized or used when the rainbows are formed. So let's look at the figure B, where the primary rainbow formation is shown. Here, instead of single raindrop, we have considered 2 raindrops. Okay. So just pay attention to the first raindrop. The upper ray which you get is nothing but, so this is violet light. This is also violet and this is red light. So from raindrop 1, the upper ray which you get is the violet light, the lower ray which you get is the red light. Similarly, from raindrop 2 also you will get similar rays. So if you look at the observer, the ray coming from raindrop 1, that is a red ray, and the ray which is coming from raindrop 2, that is violet ray. So this is violet ray coming from raindrop 2. They meet each other. Okay, and therefore this observer gets to see the red light on top and below the violet light. The other two rays, that is violet ray from raindrop 1 and red ray from raindrop 2, they are placed above or below the observer. So he doesn't get to see these two rays, and therefore we'll get to see a primary rainbow formation. There is secondary rainbow formation also possible. Now, how secondary rainbow formation is different than the primary rainbow formation? In case of primary rainbow formation, it's a 3-step process. In first step, there is a refraction taking place at the boundary between air and the water. Then there is total internal reflection. This is step 2. And at step 3, again there is refraction taking place at the boundary between raindrop and air. So it's a 3-step process: refraction, reflection, refraction. Whereas the secondary rainbow formation, as shown over here, it's a 4-step process. So let's see what are those steps. So this is the sunlight. Okay, there is refraction taking place at point A. Okay, at point B there is total internal reflection. From point B to point C, again there is total internal reflection taking place at point C, and at point D again there is refraction taking place. So it's a 4-step process: refraction, reflection, reflection, and again refraction. In this case also, you will get to see the rainbow. The difference between the primary rainbow and secondary rainbow is because in the case of secondary rainbow, there are multiple reflections, the intensity of light reduces. Therefore, the secondary rainbow obtained is fainter compared to the primary rainbow. I hope you have understood this concept. Thank you for watching.